2024 was somewhat of a seesaw year, from extreme weather and policy challenges to intensified communication, extensive research, and platforms showcasing industry excellence. It was a year pointing to efficient collaboration as the only way forward.
Starting off with the summer crops, it was a pretty tough production season. We could see the guys from the west especially had a very tough time.
There were patches that had extremely good harvests in the summer grain regions, and then the majority of places had very poor harvests. And we see that statistically, we see around 20 to 25% drop in the summer grain production.
The winter production was under substantial pressure, just like the summer production. Now, a key challenge here was exactly the other way around in the summer production, was that this time we had lots of rain in different times. Then it was too wet, leading to all kinds of diseases, quality challenges, and sometimes too dry. But the biggest challenge is really the pricing challenges, on the international prices that are under pressure, and then also the tariff mechanisms that didn't kick in when they were supposed to kick in.
And I'm pleased to say that we have consensus in the industry. The mills, the trade, everybody agrees that automating the tariff implementation system is an absolute imperative.
Grain SA, together with Sakota, has an application currently at the ITAC Centre for this announcement methodology to be revised, which could be a huge help for the wheat industry as a whole.
Ultimately, local self-sufficiency lies in a long chain of engagements.
The whole political environment has changed. I'm happy to say that we are maintaining great relationships with all parties involved. The game has changed, and so we need to adapt how we communicate the interests and the profitability and sustainability of grain farmers within the bigger political atmosphere and environment.
So one of Grain SA's core focus areas is policy. We need to be able to create the policy that is conducive for grain and oilseed production in South Africa.
This links to Grain SA's increased role in the policy and regulatory working group of the AAMP.
And some of the highlights there would be the whole review of Act 36 of 1947, that's agrochemicals and fertilizer and animal feed registration.
So we're going through a phase where we are re-looking and revisiting many biochemicals, whether they are beneficial to the environment, not dangerous to the people that are using and applying them. And some of these chemicals have question marks. Now, before we replace and take those away, we need to come up with new solutions, and that puts a lot of strain on the regulatory system where the guys need to approve it as soon as possible.
Grain SA has therefore put a lot of effort into government and industry engagement, while assisting members with registrations required to apply chemicals identified for restrictive use only. At the same time, the amended maize grading regulations on discolored and water-damaged white maize kernels last year again came into the spotlight.
So in the new reporting period, it's sad to say that government, Grain SA and SAGRA has been taken to court with regards to these changes. I think it's just important for our members to know that this is something that Grain SA would contest.
Other policy focus points ranged from the petroleum bill to electricity and VAT on sorghum.
So to enhance the sorghum industry and to tackle some of the issues that the sorghum industry is facing, we've launched the Sorghum Cluster Initiative. So the first area is the removal of the VAT on sorghum. Sorghum is a staple food in South Africa, but because of the VAT levied on sorghum, it's not competitive with other staples such as maize.
With regard to the location differential trials on soya, great results were obtained in 2024.
We saw that new market participants came into the market. And just to throw in some statistics, in 2023, only 84 silos took delivery of soybeans. And the growth that we saw went to 130 silos that took delivery in 2024.
The breeding and technology levy continues to benefit producers, a prime example of successful industry-government interaction. Similarly, collaboration remains foundational to research projects.
Within research, we're looking at a vast amount of different topics that we coordinate in terms of the research. But I think plant health is a very important part, and we've seen the different diseases that started in the grain industry. And it's important for us to know what these diseases is, but also to manage them better so that we can take them up in the future and manage our biosecurity better.
Last year also saw specific emphasis on sclerotinia and weed resistance.
There's a lot of weed resistance, and we know the chemical industry is changing, which means that in the future this will be even more of a problem. So workshops is a very important part of the work we're doing, getting everyone together, making sure that everyone understands the problem from a producer perspective, but also to tackle the problems in terms of an integrated approach right through the whole chain with all the stakeholders.
Expert input and industry partnerships also lie at the heart of the Bahama Grain Pakama program. And in 2024, the visionary Jane McPherson returned as head of this result-driven farmer development initiative. PGP not only addresses poverty through productive use of arable land, but creates an integrated industry from subsistence all the way through to commercial scale. And when it comes to event platforms, NAMPO remains a star, be it the buzzing Harvest Day in Bothaville, the colourful NAMPO Cape, or action-packed NAMPO Alpha.
NAMPO in essence is always for us a highlight in the calendar, but I think what was very important for us last year is we had yet again new numbers in terms of record numbers. We had a very large component of exhibitors that was of good quality with a large waiting list.
The secret lies in excellent coordination and brilliant communication.
Dis een van die grootste landbou-expos in die suidelike halfrond en vir dekades reeds kom mense van heinde en ver om die nuutste landboutendense eerstehands te beleef.
Grow for Gold was another media attention grabber, with cutting-edge technology driving yields.
Yields is our sustainability factor for the future, and this competition helps the producers to stretch the boundaries and see what yields we can achieve, but most importantly to learn from one another to see what we can change in the future.
Shared learning and growth also marked the 2024 Day of Celebration, a vibrant showcase of the tremendous achievements resulting from the Bahama Grain Pakama program. In turn, the Grain SA Syngenta Grain Producer of the Year again represented producers that are in every way ambassadors for the industry.
The South African farmers are the best in the world. I have been overseas, I have studied with different farmers, and I agree with them. There is no farmer like a South African farmer. And it starts in your own office, with your neighbor, with your local farmers union, and then all the way top to Grain South Africa. We cannot do without organized agriculture in South Africa.
And as a new chair will be taking over this year, we look back on the dedication and impact of industry stalwart Derek Matthews.
It's been a big part of my life. It's been something that I've always been immensely proud of. And there's certain things about Grain SA that historically, from SAMPI, NAMPO, which became Grain SA, that have stood out. The ability that the organization has always had to adapt to current circumstances and to find solutions has been phenomenal. My wish for the organization really is that that they will keep that we will keep that as an organization, and that we will always remember that the organization is far greater than any individual can ever be.